What's going on? This is Shamus with the Educate to Elevate podcast. Once again, coming to you with a super special guest. Like this interview, I might get emotional. I might shed a tear because this is my brother that I've known for almost 30 years, right? I'm going to let him introduce himself. By the middle of this conversation, everybody's going to realize what this man contributed to the music industry. So I welcome my guy, Arnold Taylor from South Coast Music Group. What's going on, brother?
What's up? Damn, we old, man. 30 years? Jesus.
What? I was telling my buddy the other day, I'm like, my friend, he tried to make fun of me. He's like, yo, when you get your harp card, can I use it? I'm like, man, come on, bro.
Come on, man.
Like, you gonna hit me like that, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. You know what I'm saying?
We still in it to get one, though. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You want to use it. So, like, we were just having a conversation, and I know exactly how much you contributed to the music industry, breaking artists like Gotti and Khaled and Future and the Baby. So just let everybody know exactly, what you do in the music industry, what you was responsible for. Like I said, I know I've been watching you, I've been following you, we've been friends for almost 30 years. So just tell the listeners and everything exactly, what it is you do and everything.
I mean, I think for me, I've been in the music industry forever, man. I got into this game as a kid, from street teams to putting up poster boards to working in, my godfather's record store, to meeting, guys like Shamus, who was coming down from New York and was independent, on his Master P, and I was always structured to be an entrepreneur to like really develop like artists, independent artists, and help them create their own buzz versus going to get a job at a label. But, I got a job at a label and I realized from being a Black Crown working at Timberland, it was mainly just trying to find out how to break the artist once you sign an artist. So, my start was mostly in marketing promotions because coming up with the concept on how to break an artist was more intriguing to me than just finding talent, because everybody can find talent though. But, I've done it all, man. So, a lot of times people just can talk about one thing, but for me, I'm like a student of the game. I've done every aspect, from a label to having my own business, to streets, to radio, to promotions, to own the label, management, the whole nine. So this is where I'm at. This is what you get right here.
Exactly. And it's funny because that's how we first met. When I was putting out the record, it was Big Willie style.
Right.
And I think actually I got your phone number from Buddha. You remember Buddha?
Oh, yeah.
He was like, yo, my man Arnold Taylor, he's the truth in North Carolina. You know what I'm saying?
Forgot about Buddha. I forgot how you got my phone number.
Yeah,
okay,
it was from Buddha. He was like, yo, he's working with Steve Rifkin. And I knew that you broke like Pun and Mobb Deep and Wu. And I'm like, man, that's my sound. You know what I'm saying? Loud was my label. I remember going to Loud and talking to Raekwon and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, Steve got a nice setup over here. And you're the one that really taught me about street teams. Because I was like, and you're like, yo, we make sure that your poster boards, your records get in stores and everything. So like, it was funny because I remember being on the road, and I don't know if you remember this. We was in North Carolina, and Jay-Z and Nas was going at the battle with Ether and what's the name, and they was voting for it on the radio, and they was like, yo, Nas won. And I was just like, yo, I told you, I love Hove. I started with Hove, like Ski Beats did my first track and everything.
Yeah.
But that battle, Hove, you lost, man. Nas was just the ultimate dagger.
Ski Beats, Carolina on. Wow.
Exactly. I was talking to him the other day because he sent me a video of somebody playing my record. He was like, yo, you withstood the test of time,
Wow.
And I still get emails and like DMs like, yo, do you got any music? I'm like, nah, bro, I don't got no music. And I love music, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think for me, the thing that slowed me down with the music was the fact that I couldn't figure out how to own everything. And I was stubborn. I mean, there was times, I don't even know if you noticed when we was paying for street teams, but our lights in the house was off. I'm like, yo, I got to spend everything.
No, I see how hard you went. Yeah, I see how hard you went. When I say like use on your Master P, and just let me touch on Master P. People give a lot of these guys credit, bro, but I respect Master P probably more than anybody. I respect him so much. I got the same lawyer, Rick Joseph, that Master P had. You know what I mean? To this day, Rick
for
Joseph's my
sure.
guy. Because Master P came from a small city, moved to LA. You know what I mean? And that's what I did. Came from a small city, played the New York game, played the LA game. You know what I mean? Was savvy enough, to where I still knew when to be down south, and I still knew when to be city. And that's just what I've always been. But I think that when I met Shamus, you was just doing shit so different, bro. And you was guerrilla marketing. And my street team was trying to be more like a company with it. I wasn't just passing out flyers. I was trying to make sure we owned something before the digital era. That's what you had to do. So what you was doing from coming from Bronx, bro, you was killing the game. I had never seen a cat from New York like come down south and really work it like you worked it though.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me. I love music. I think that my era was the best era of hip hop. Like I was telling somebody the other day, I'm like, when I had Big Willie Style on Billboard, I was on there with Pac and Big. I'm like, that's who I had to compete against.
Right. All right.
The ones that y'all consider the greatest, I was trying to get the spot above them, and people couldn't understand. They was like, yo, how are you independent and your joint is number 4 on Billboard? Because I started seeing how the system was ran, and I'm like, let me figure this out. So like for independent artists trying to get in the game, from your view, what do you think is the hardest thing that they have to deal with, and how do they like get over that hump?
I think really the financials is what it really used to be. It's a little bit different now because it's still financials, but it's also like, you know what, you got to have strategy now because the internet has changed the game. So they had to deal with they too old school or too new school. Either they rely too much on the internet, which becomes a problem because nobody knows who you are, or you're so old school that you're spending all this money, but that way ain't working either though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to find a way to integrate both. Otherwise, you're gonna become jaded. You're gonna become somebody like a dinosaur. So I think the main problem is just staying true to what you do. A lot of people they follow a lot of fads, but if you're MC, be an MC. Down south rapper, if you're a trapper, whatever. If you're from the Caribbean, be who you are. A lot of people, it's not authentic when the fans look at it and they don't believe it.
Yeah,
you gotta be who you are. You know what I mean? And if you stay true to that concept, you gotta grind. So to me, a lot of artists just they all over the place and they just don't grind it out. They don't stay true to who they are.
Yeah. 100%. You definitely see artists jumping on fads like this works. But I always say like, and I'm an MC. That's what I consider myself an MC.
No doubt.
Battling, going to the tunnel and stuff like that. And I remember it was funny. I was just talking to my man C Terror that we did some joints with, and I said I remember when I heard Capital Punishment. We had the sample, and we listened to it. I'm like, we got to start all over. Like this pun shit is like some next level. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I was. I'm from the same era. I mean, we like the same age, bro. So for me, I've been a Nas fan from day one. Because I was never even from being in Miami to Charlotte. I respected what Luke was doing and that sound, but I never really liked Booty Shake. You know what I mean? That wasn't my thing. I was always trying to find who was the most, lyricist. I was a fan of Farside and like a lot of the real Souls of Mischiefs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was a fan of like real MCs, but more like unique.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If you had a unique flow, I was in all day.
Yeah.
So, but to me, it's all about the wordplay. Your wordplay to me get me every time. If you can't, rap is very clever. If your wordplay ain't there, that's why Jadakiss to me is still one of my favorites because his wordplay is just crazy to me.
Still to this day, when I seen the Dipset, I was like, damn. I'm like, y'all need to stop now because
Yeah.
Jada from the rip was like, yo, I'm going at you.
Oh, come on, man. Come
It
on.
was hilarious.
And his metaphors and the way he put together is just crazy. So I think the art of being a rapper, a
Mhm.
lot of people have got lucky and gotten away with having a song and being a rapper, but it's only a few people that's really mastered the art of metaphors
Yeah.
and where they make words clever enough to be like, damn, did he just say that? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Only a few
Yeah.
artists to me can still do that today, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Like I still listen to MCs and I'm like, man, that line was crazy and stuff like that. And then I'm the type that when I hear a song, I'm gonna listen to it over and over because I'm dissecting what you said.
No, no doubt.
My,
But
my
you
wife
are
was like,
though.
why you listen to this 50 times? I'm like, because I'm trying to understand what he said. I want to know what he said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're an
But
artist, bro. Why not?
yeah. And you know what's crazy is just like I said, following you, like you're one of the people that I look up to, you know, just for the
I
simple
appreciate
fact,
that.
yes, sir. Just for the simple fact I seen, and even at times now, you know, like sometimes I doubt myself. You know, my wife is like, but you got to see how far you came and what you did. But sometimes as an entrepreneur, we're never satisfied. Like you
Never.
could get to this level and then you're like, yo, what's up there? And then I think you go through this phase where you're like, okay, I made 10 million. How do I get to 100 million? And then, you know, sometimes it sets you back because you start to look at it and you start to see as an entrepreneur, I think sometimes your vision and your motivation can actually, to some people, if you don't have that grind, be detrimental to everything around you because you're never satisfied. And then you know that self
Agree.
help, you never get there. You know, so like for you, like I seen you, like I said, I seen you from the grind, and I seen you just shift. What was the feeling like when you like you put in 25 years, 30 years, and it took you, you know, even though you had success in breaking artists and working for labels, I think it was South Coast Music Group and the baby that really gave you what you deserved for all of those years.
No, I agree. I agree. And the most beautiful thing is I did it from a city. You know, I mean, this city saved my life, bro, and it raised me. So, you know, my mom's from here, my pop's from Miami. So I couldn't do shit in Miami. I couldn't do shit
Mhm.
in New York. Atlanta was already established, you know what I mean? But this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
home. You know what I mean? I've always been a Carolina boy. But I think to me is I had to do it, you know. And I was in New York and I was like, damn, you know, I was in the Epic office one day and I was like, damn, I'm breaking all these artists. They
Mhm.
just gave J. Cole in New York because he went to NYU.
Okay.
And J. Cole's strictly from Fayetteville, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
still
yeah.
talk about Petey Pablo, we're the same age.
Which is dope.
Like,
He's dope.
yeah, it's
Petey's
like
dope.
shout
Yeah.
out to Petey Pablo and J. Cole, but it's like, yo, bro, I need to make sure we and I knew I was the only person from the city that could really go back to the city and do it.
And do that.
You
Yeah.
know, not that I ever left, but I was just back and forth to New York a lot. And I was working there. But I think at the end of the day, to me, you know, it was refreshing to me to make the city proud. I knew I had to do it
Mhm.
because I've been breaking artists my whole life, but I've been doing it for somebody else. You got what I mean? You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
so I was telling you before we started, like, yo, it's about residual income. If I'm
Mhm.
still, if I can't get published and if I can't get, the full ramification of tours and build brands and make sure my kids and generations have the wealth they need, then what am I doing it for? Because,
Yeah.
I can break records all day and get a check, but then after that, it's like nobody's gonna remember that. So, you know,
Exactly.
I'm a true entrepreneur. I wanted to do something that was meaningful for my city. Baby wasn't even the first artist that I signed, but he was the best artist I signed because
Gotcha.
he had we're the same. We're not. He's fearless and I'm fearless. We don't
Yeah,
give a.
yeah, yeah.
If it works, it works. If it don't
If it
work,
don't, you go.
I'll start
You know,
something else. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Because um, but it is refreshing to answer your question. But I would say this though: when you're an entrepreneur, man, I didn't choose to be in the music business. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
When I broke the first artist for the label and got a job at the label, I thought I had did more than I ever thought I would do in my life. You know what I mean?
Facts,
So,
facts.
but I also knew how big it could be when you have an entrepreneur brain like ours.
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
sometimes I have to tell myself, man, like I'll be 50 this year, bro, and I'm still not satisfied. You know what I'm saying? Will I ever be
Yeah.
satisfied with my accomplishments? You know,
And that's the
it's
thing,
scary though.
wifey. It is, because that's what wifey said to me the other day. She was like, "Yo, you're never satisfied." I'm like,
Bro,
because I don't know what my best me looks like. That's the
exactly.
thing. Like I heard David Goggins, he was telling a story about, he said he got in front of God and he tells God, I've been a good father, I've been a good husband. Did I do good? And God told him, like, you did good, but I wanted you to do great. Like
Right.
you're supposed to lead a nation. So in
Exactly.
my eyes, you didn't fulfill your prophecy. And I think as we get older, I know for me, I'm still trying to find my purpose. I think I know what my purpose is now, is to share my voice and to get people
No doubt.
younger than me to say, okay, I got some type of hope, you know? So it's just hard, but it's true what you said, not being satisfied is scary.
It is scary, man, because sometimes I want to turn my brain off and be like, even my mom, she'd be like, damn, when you gonna slow down? When you gonna stop? You know what I mean? You know, I don't know what that means, because it's like sometimes I'd be like, damn, am I doing this for everybody else?
Yeah.
Or am I doing this for me? You know what I
Yep.
mean? Because
Yeah.
it seems like sometimes I'm just doing it for everybody else, because I've already reached the goal I wanted to reach. It
Mhm.
doesn't mean I want South Coast to be the biggest label out there. I don't want to be known as, oh, he just broke one artist with his label. You know what I mean? Regardless of where all the artists are going right now and what they're doing. If I'm going to do a label, I want it to be the best label. So now, okay,
Period.
I did what I was supposed to do and broke an artist in my city and got one of the most relevant labels out here in the
Mhm.
world. You
Mhm. In
know,
the world. Mhm.
world. But now it's like, damn, you know what? I can't stop right now. You know what I mean? I got to make sure the shit's.
It
I'll be
starts
a
right
food star now.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so shit ain't never
that's where it
never gonna
starts.
end. It's never gonna end, Shamus. I'll never be able to stop, because it's like I've already started it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
gonna just go retire. You know what I mean? That's all I want to do, guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. It ain't. I think. I think as an entrepreneur, like it's our obligation to change a trajectory for everybody that comes after us.
Facts.
Because in my family, there's no millionaires. Like nobody even did any type of college, no entrepreneurs, no
Nope.
nothing. I'm like, if I don't do it, nobody else is gonna do it.
Same with me. I carry my
You
whole
know,
family in my back, bro. I'm the youngest, and I carry everybody in my back.
I'm the youngest
You know what I
too.
mean?
It's the
Like it's like
same thing.
everybody depend on me, from nieces to
Everybody.
nephews to aunts and uncles or whatever. Man, it don't matter. Everybody depend on me, bro. So it's like you doing it for everybody else too, though. You ain't even doing it for
Yeah.
yourself now.
Oh,
You know
not
what I
at all.
mean?
Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, and I asked myself at the same time, I'm like, damn, what do you want? But then
Right.
as a responsible person, and I'll share something with you, as a responsible person, I feel like it's my job to make sure that I open up the gates for everybody else. It was funny because I had got my practitioner's license in NLP with Dr. Bandler like maybe like 6 months ago, right? And I never realized this, right? I usually bump heads with my sons, right?
Mm-hmm.
I work better with women than I do men. And
All day long. All
I
day
couldn't
long.
figure it out. So
Yeah.
what I came to realize was my mother was a single mother. So I respected her and I respect women. I've been with my wife 32 years, right?
Yeah, that's talk.
My father didn't, I forgive him now, but my father didn't do what he was supposed to do. So as a man, I have a conflict with any man that doesn't do what I think his standards and he should do.
How crazy is that?
You know,
How
I didn't look
crazy is
at it
that?
until I was sitting there talking. I was like, that's why I bump heads. So I'm trying to become a better person and understand that everybody is different. And you have to kind of, your standards may be so high that people, I just can't live up to your standards. Like,
No, I,
I'm,
I agree. I agree. Because you know what's crazy though? I was telling somebody the other day, like my daughter probably is more like me than my son.
same here,
Disciplined in Chapel Hill, she's
same here.
she's doing her thing, 19 years old in Chapel Hill, Carolina. She's pretty much she's a Tar Heel for you guys who want to know what Chapel Hill is. But at the end of the day, I think that she's very disciplined. She never really had a childhood, don't have a lot of friends. I talked to her, Dad, I'm going to summer school. I want to graduate early. So I got a mind, you know what I mean? My
Yeah,
son
yeah,
is
for
more like
sure.
his mom, more laid back, Southern boy, pretty boy, Southern boy, cool.
What?
You think he's prettier than me, but that ain't going down like that,
Exactly. That's 100%. I say the same thing. My daughter, she's in Kennesaw State, getting her architecture degree, military, did 4 years in the military. She was the type that Christmas time, she would give us a list of the gifts she wanted, what store had them, what was the price, plus the tax. At like 8, 9 years old, she was doing this.
Wow.
And that's me. Like, I write numbers everywhere. My family's like, what numbers are those? I'm like, the numbers I'm trying to make next year. They're like, that looks like a lotto ticket. But it's funny because I say my sons are like my wife. And then even to a point, my wife works hard. She works super hard. Like, she's always supportive. She's helpful. And I just think, like, with the boys and the men, we're trying to push them actually to where we're at and save them time. Like, if you could just do these 3 things or these 5 things, by the time you're 21, you could be a millionaire. You could be driving whatever kind of car you want and everything.
Nah, definitely. And when I say my son's like my ex-wife, like, she was I was married 19 years, and my wife was great. And she worked, crazy. She wasn't lazy, but he's just more laid back. Her demeanor is more like laid back, homebody. I'm more like always gone. She goes to bed early. I go to bed late. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
She's a morning person. I'm a night owl. So
exactly.
Like, and I think contrast is attractive because I've never really dated an industry woman. You know what I mean? I'm not intrigued with women in the industry because it's I rather you be a teacher or just something totally different and people don't think. So they always think that I want a woman that's running around and in the entertainment field. I don't, bro. I don't want that. I don't want you to even ask me about no tickets. Don't ask me about the show. When I get home, I don't want to talk about nothing. But if you're an accountant, what did you do today? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I don't want to talk about what I did today.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that is something intriguing about guys like us. They think we married like the wild stripper. Yeah. You know what I mean? Nah, I'm looking for the girl from the good neighborhood who's totally like when you come from the streets. She ain't from the streets. You got what I mean? So
100%.
So that's what I'm intrigued with. So I think that you got to understand, but we always try to find more like a motherly type figure in our wife because I was raised by a single mom too until she married my stepdad. So I think that I work well with women as well. So what you said I can relate to that. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, I didn't either until that moment. I was just like, why do I get into it with men in my? All I heard God was say because of your father.
And my son catch hell too. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I know, bro, because it's like we're like, bro, I need you to be better than me, and we're so hard on them because we know how hard we had it.
Exactly.
You know how hard we had it. So that little girl, you're gonna give her a pass, but the little girl also saw her dad work so hard. She don't want to let her dad down.
Exactly.
So it's almost like her respect is different than his respect, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, big time.
Big time. So keep being hard on him, man. Don't give him no passes, bro.
At all. The only way you're not getting a pass. The only way you get a pass is when I'm in the grade.
You know what I mean? Come on,
damn, my father.
Then you gonna remember, like,
he left me alone.
Because that's when it's gonna probably register when we dead and gone. You know what I mean? Like, you know what? Damn.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
100%. Yeah.
Exactly. It was funny because I used to tell Shamus, I'm like, you're not gonna understand it until you're about 25. And literally,
son Shamus. Right.
Yeah, Junior. He was about 20. He was about 24, 25. He came into the garage. He's like, Dad, I understand now. I told you, bro. Because I had told him one time he was telling me something. I'm like, bro, I've been 18. You never been 46. I was 46 at the time. I'm like, I've been there. I know every little slick thing you trying to do. I done did that. Like,
yep.
And
we kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm not running around here with overalls on, and listen, I'm not on social media. I don't know what a TikTok is. I know all that. I deal with artists that do wild shit every day. So
every day,
I'm the last person you can pull some young shit on. I'm already ahead of you. Just because of the business and what I do for a living, you got to give me that pass, bro.
Yo, and it's so funny. Sometimes, like, we was in California and we was getting off the bus, and we was taking a shuttle to go pick the car up. And is that your brother? And he was like, that's my father. Like he was mad. I'm like, why are you mad? We could go to the strip club together and I don't look like grandpa. I'm
Real
like, you
talk.
should be
Real
good.
talk.
You know?
He don't want you to be cool, but they don't want you to be cool now.
They
You know?
don't, bro. And then what kills them is when they try to bring something up, I'm like, nah, that's not the way you do it. It's done like this. They look at you like, bro, I'm like, listen, I know how it's done. I put you on the game, and you thinking like my youngest son here come and be like, yo, dad, you ain't never seen sneakers like this. Show me some Air Force Ones. I'm like, I had those 25 years ago. What are you talking about?
We're talking about the same shoe. It's the same shoe,
Exactly,
man.
the same shoe. Like, yo, you're not beating me to the punch, bro. It's not happening. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man, they wearing Timberlands again, and they wearing the Tim boots again and all that. Y'all ain't doing nothing, bro. Nothing
at all. The only thing you could say you got ahead is TikTok came out in your era and stuff like that, and I probably know more about it than you do.
Exactly, and I'll be honest with you. To this day, I still don't know what TikTok means. I don't.
Yeah.
Everybody going so crazy. I get it, but at the end of the day, it's like I never really broke an artist on TikTok. I've always broke an artist the old school way by grinding sweat and real talent, and can I make you a superstar? So sometimes if you break an artist the new way, that's what it's going to be. The longevity is never there because
never.
You broke somebody with a gimmick or a fad, but not real talent a lot of times. And they do it again, and again. And that's why I don't play that game, because if I got 4 or 5 albums from you and I sign you, and I know you're a one-hit wonder, you become a liability to me.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I wish you the best. At South Coast, we just don't play that game, because I'd rather be patient, take 3-4 years to build you up.
Break them.
I'm cool. I'm cool with the patience, because if I can give you a longevity situation, you're going to respect me, in your career and on the longevity you have. So now you're going to be like, damn, he set me up for life, versus he just set me up to fail. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I tell labels all the time, I'm not playing the same game you're playing, because I think the majors, they play a different game now,
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely different. I mean, just looking at the artists now, I'm the same way. I look at an artist and I can hear him the first time, and I'm like, yo, in 2 years, he's gonna be out.
You already know.
Yeah, because he's not a student. He's not a student to the game. And coming from the era I come from, you could see artists like we talked about, Nas and Jay. You could see them from the beginning development and knew like these guys are gonna have longevity in the music industry. And labels and artists don't understand is, it takes a lot of money to break a label. It takes a lot of money to break to break an artist, right? Like artists think like, yo, I'm gonna spend $50K and I'm gonna be a superstar. I'm like, girl, $50K a day. That's probably what you're gonna spend.
Exactly.
It ain't gonna be no 50,000. Like I remember my son, we was talking about an artist, and he was like, oh, he just went viral and everything. I'm like, there's a little bit more to it. When I checked in it, he was on a label that the owner of that label was the son of the owner of Universal Music Group.
See what I mean? You see what I mean?
I'm like, there you go. You think you're gonna throw a joint out there and you're gonna wake up in the morning and you're viral? I said, that doesn't work like that. Those are unicorns. Those are unicorns. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy? Even with these new producers and people that I'm like, I don't know who that is. It always results back when I start calling them. It's a manager that I know who's probably the same age as me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So that's why I tell these kids all the time, man. You gotta respect the OGs. Y'all really need us around, because even though we study young culture and we know this is a young man's game in the music industry now, executives is still the OG game.
Oh yeah,
because you gotta and when you can marry, that's why I think me and Baby have been so successful, because we know how to marry both worlds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know how to teach him the old school shit and the shit, and tell him where he's going. And he know how to keep me young enough to where, like, in a culture, they're like, oh shit, nah, big bro, that's how you do it this way. Now this how we doing it this way. Your way was cool, but this way they're doing it now. You know what I mean?
We got to tweak it a little. We got to tweak it a little.
Do both ways. We just integrate it now. You know what I mean? Too young, too new school, and too old school ain't gonna work either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So we've been good at really just coming in the middle, man, and really respecting each other's culture, each other's, generation.
Yeah. And I think y'all both have the same, it's the same goal in mind. It was to put North Carolina on the map,
All day long. All day long,
establish a
bro.
label. Like I said, remember, because I did the t-shirts, his first t-shirts
Oh, yeah,
for the radio station.
yeah,
I still got that picture on my IG.
Yeah.
I was showing somebody the other day. I'm like, yo, my man Arnold, and then I showed him the t-shirts. And I remember at A3C, I told him, I said, yo, you with Arnold, be patient. He's gonna get you to where you need to be, because I knew your work ethic. And to be honest, when I caught up with you, I'm like, damn, this dude is still going. I done switched 2 or 3 different industries. And I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I'm like, this dude is still pushing the music heavy. So
Right.
I admire that. Sometimes I wish that I would stick in things that long. I'm a hustler. I pivot. Yo, this ain't selling. Let's pivot to this direction.
Real talk.
And because when you're trying to make money, especially I think when I stop the music, and I tell people, like, if God came down and said, "What is your dream job?" I'm like, put me back in the music industry. Not as an artist.
Real talk.
But
Now you loved it.
I loved it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember the last album we put out, the Crime Wave album. I went $300,000 on that. And at the time, I wasn't getting my money back because, I think it was Southwest. They went under.
Southwest went under, yeah.
And I'm like, yo, you owe me $100,000. I need my bread, bro.
Retail was starting to get shaky at that point. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I was happy when Napster came out, because I'm like, yo, that's gonna put a dent in the entire music industry and put it on a digital format. So the fact that when you put a record out now, you can actually upload it and it's everywhere in the world. I'm like, yo, this shit is magical.
Right.
Like, we had to fight to get in Tower Records and Beat Street. And I was like, yo, I remember even when we was on tour, the only reason why our records was getting in the stores is because, like, you was taking them and putting them there. They'd be like, yo, the distributor say you don't got it. I'm like, distributor does have it. Like, they're trying to hold so we can be forced out and to take a deal. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna bow out before I let you own my masters and everything, man. I'm just
yeah. But that's the boss in you, though. And I'll be honest with you, man. Like, I had to really swallow my pride to go take a job. I knew, coming from Carolina, I knew, I had to go work at Black Grounding and go work at Def Jam and go work at Interscope before I got to Epic. Because to me, it's like, sometimes you got to really study the game. I knew I wasn't, I wanted to start this label at 35 years old, but It's just like, mentally, I was in a business, but there was still a lot I didn't know.
Yeah, for sure.
So I said, you know what? Let me just get in the label and really learn how to deal with these artists, the right way, publishing, touring, you know what I mean? To know how contracts are. It's a certain thing you got to do. And honestly, my money was cool at that time, but it wasn't about the money though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to humble yourself sometimes just to be a student of the game.
Yeah.
And I had bosses I know that didn't know more than me.
Facts.
But I played the game, you know what I'm saying? and niggas was talking to me like they was my boss too, though.
Yeah,
that was hard for me because I'm a boss myself and an entrepreneur, and I'm a made man, Shamus.
I'll put hands on you.
Anybody gave me shit. So at the end of the day, you're not gonna talk crazy to me because you got
at all,
time, bro.
Yeah.
So when I say you gotta humble yourself, man, because what I wanted to do and what I did was 2 different things. So, but you gotta also realize, like, okay, you're from the streets, but can you be corporate enough to deal with this situation?
100%.
When they're scared of you and you walk in the office and you ignorant, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna
be you're out of there. Yeah.
So, and that's one thing that I saw in you as well, man. It was like, damn, Shamus coming in from New York, man. He was always respectful too, bro.
Thank you,
man. Because New York niggas was so disrespectful back then. Woo, country ass nigga, and goddamn, bro. You can't come down here with that energy, man. Because
at all,
you know what I'm saying, because this their territory. You know what I mean?
Facts. So yeah.
I can't come up top with that energy.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
But I respected you, man, because you part of the first one I met, man, from NY that didn't act like you was from NY.
Thanks. Yeah.
People knew where you was from because you
Thank
represented where you was from, but
Yeah.
you had that chip on you, that arrogant chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I think people love about you, bro. It's like, and why I wanted to help you so much,
Thank
because
you.
you didn't come with all that arrogant shit. You respected, the cat from Texas or from Tennessee.
Yeah.
You gave him the same respect. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And you had your crew so tight. Like,
Yeah.
even the wild boys in your crew, they respected you like crazy.
Yeah. For
They
sure.
wanted to wild out, but they had respect for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because we used to have those conversations. We used to have the conversation. I'm like, yo, we're in North Carolina, we're in Miami. I'm like, we gotta roll different. Like, we gotta roll different. Don't get caught slacking.
Yeah,
we ain't deep at all. We may have like 8 or 10 dudes. I'm like, yo, but they could make a phone call and have 50.
Come on, bro.
We ain't got firearms. This ain't the Bronx. We can't go upstairs. Yo, I remember we used to go to the clubs on a tour, and I used to wear my vest.
Real talk.
And they're tapping me like, what is this? I'm like, yo, it's dangerous out here. Like, I'm not going nowhere.
Everybody got a gun in the South, bro.
Exactly. I'm like, it's legal. That's the first thing I did when I moved from New York to PA. I went right to the gun shop and bought me a Ruger P89. I'm like, yo, I could buy it? Boom. Now I got a whole room, AR-15s and everything.
I got 50 guns now.
Exactly. I dare you to knock on my door. You knock on my door, some shit is gonna break out, and you're gonna be on the wrong side of the fence with this one.
Oh man.
But it was definitely, and that was one thing I used to struggle with, is like, since I would roll with a bunch of people, is trying to communicate with them like, listen, man, we're trying to get to this next level. It's gonna take a lot for us to get here. So I need cooperation from everybody, because like you said earlier, I'm the type that could go in a boardroom with billionaires and talk and have a conversation, but then I could go in a club where they shooting at and get you out safely.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Everybody can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
That's why we're still around. I tell people all the time, man. I don't care where you from. Everybody from the streets. We all from the hood. We all from the streets. No way. We all got a gun. It don't mean that.
Exactly.
I've survived by being 7 steps ahead of the opponent every time. I know it's time to get out. Yeah. I know it's time to not start an argument with this crazy dude.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Nah, he ain't the one, bro. Let's do that. Let's get out of here.
Exactly.
You know what it's time, like, okay, well, that's what we got to do. We're back against the wall. We got to do what we got to do.
Exactly.
How is knowing how to de-escalate the situation, bro.
Oh yeah, plenty of time. Because I be seeing things and I'm like, I don't think you should start nothing with him. Like, he don't have nothing to lose. You can see he got a 40 cal on him. Shut up.
Real talk.
Take the shit out of your pockets and give it to him, or you're gonna get blasted. That's what you're gonna do. I seen that happen. There's so many people in the hood where I grew up at, was like, I see them going into a situation and I'm like, yo, in my mind, I'm like, you're gonna come out on the short end, because dude don't have.
We live to fight another day, bro. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Sometimes you gotta walk away. You got to walk away, because you never know what people are going through.
Exactly.
Somebody's eyes and see, like, they don't care.
They're ready
to go to jail. They're down to go to jail.
Yep.
They don't care. You care. We care.
They trying to go back to jail to get free dental care and don't have to pay rent. And you're starting with this dude. I'm like, that's not smart at all, bro. And we've seen it plenty of times on the road, bro. I used to tell people like, yo, just leave him alone. Leave him alone. I mean, you're not going to get disrespected. If you got to fight, you got to fight. But just be easy, because dude don't have it all there.
Nah, real talk.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let it go, But I think you don't learn that until you go through those cycles of life.
You do.
When you're younger, you're like, yo, man, I'll set it on everybody. Then you realize, like, yo, I may get 20 years in prison. And I used to say, the one thing I prayed to God, I said, please, I'm a skinny dude. Mm-hmm. Don't send me to jail, because the first thing I'm going to do is catch a body in there so they can be like, yo, the skinny dude is crazy. Leave him alone. And I bossed up. That's it.
Man, you both, bro. Us skinny guys can't be in jail trying to fight for our life, man.
Exactly.
You gotta do something so they make an example out of you.
Exactly. Exactly.
You're already a little guy, so what's gonna happen?
Exactly. I'm like, I'm not going out like that, man. That's crazy, man. But it's funny,
bro. We come from what we always have to have, like, respect, bro. Like, I'm just big on respect, man.
Yeah, same here.
And that's why I think, we've came so far, man. It's like, I tell people all the time, I didn't choose the music business.
Yeah.
I chose to be a businessman, with great customer service because I feel like, when you're a businessman, it don't matter what I start, I feel like I was going to be successful at whatever I start.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
A lot of people feel like they can't do nothing else, man. But like, I've had several businesses, man, that was successful. It's just that they're not glamorous.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
when shit ain't glamorous, people think that, you got $1 million plumbers that make $1 million a year. So,
but because they ain't driving a certain car or showing a big house, they're like, yo, dude is a dud. I'm like, bro, it's not like that. You know what I'm saying?
And me, I'm an under the radar cat, man. I like quiet money, bro.
Yeah.
I don't need to be loud and obnoxious and having my Rolls Royce all in front of my house on Instagram. I don't do that. I just don't do it. You know what I mean?
I still look at stuff and I'm like, for a lot of these young kids, I'm like, you guys are, you're admitting this stuff on Instagram and things like that. And it sets up a lot of, especially, I think social media is like the gift and the curse. Like it helps people,
definitely.
But then at the same time, certain people look and say, I'm not like him. I'm not making as much money as her. And then like their level of confidence drops down. And I mean, nowadays, like people are like, yo, I got 5,000 friends on Facebook, but how many people did you actually speak to? Like,
exactly.
How many of your friends?
Exactly.
Oh, well, I know. No, you don't. No, you don't. Like, when is the last time your kid went outside and played stickball or play football?
It ain't real, man. It ain't real.
It ain't.
People follow me on Instagram. I've seen a few people out, and I don't pay attention to Instagram who follow me.
Yeah.
People ask me all the time, why you don't follow me back? Bro, I didn't even know you. Listen, man, my era in social media, man. I know how to go. I got real friends I can go talk to and have a conversation with. You know what I mean? I don't really consider these people my friends on Instagram. I'm sorry.
Facts.
My bad.
Yeah, that's the way it is. It's facts. Yeah.
Take it to the heart. But I use this to mostly promote my company.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? PRs and everybody always telling me, hey, man, people want to know you. And I get it. They want to know the man behind the business. I get it. But I'm still only going to show you so much about Arnold Taylor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it because I want it's a certain level of privacy that I want to keep. And I didn't get into this to be popular, bro. I just didn't get into it. But this is the most popular I've ever been. And I'm still uneasy with it because, a lot come with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. So
jealousy, envy, all of that comes with it.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
on, man. You can, my spirit is always good, bro. I'm a humble guy. But it don't matter. Somebody got it out for you, and ain't nothing you can do. You know what I mean?
and the funniest thing is like I was just having this conversation, and I was telling wifey, I'm like, there's a lot of things like, so I got a nonprofit called Help. Like every Sundays we go down to Atlanta, feed like 100 people. We got like an entrepreneur program for kids between the ages of like 8 and 16. They would give me like a 2-page business plan. Let's say they want to sell hats. We would go out, buy them the first 1,000 hats, set up their social media, set up their website, give them some Facebook ad money, and teach them how to run a business. Now, I'm not saying they're going to end up on the Forbes list, but when you instill entrepreneurship in a kid from a very, very early age, it's hard for that to be removed from them. Like they're gonna keep going. And I think that we have to design a whole new system in almost every area, in music, in basketball, in football. We got to design a new system that this next generation looks at and be like, you still doing it the old way? Like you still doing it with them? So that's the main thing with the nonprofit, is to show like this next generation is like, hey, we got to do something different. And it starts with the kids. That's where it starts. You know what I'm saying?
Man. I love what you're doing, bro. Whatever I can do to come in, like South Coast is all about the community, bro.
I know. Trust me.
Yeah,
man.
if you got something you want to link up and do something together, let me know. You know what I mean? I'm the king of giving back.
Oh, I know that, man. So like with South Coast, what are your plans? Let's say like your 10-year plan, your 20-year plan. I know you got, you could tell the artist that you got. I know you got the baby. I know you got 2C and you got a bunch of other artists. What do you see yourself trying to do over the next 10 or 20 years with music?
I mean, to me, if you notice, man, from from Baby the 2C to, Black Zach to Tia Corinne, to Big Mally to, my newcomers, Dusty Stay True, who's the first artist I signed, who's from outside of the Carolinas. He's from Connecticut.
Okay.
New Haven, Connecticut.
Okay.
I got Tino Season, and I just signed this kid, D Youngin.
Okay.
To me, it's really just I don't want to be known as the urban label, bro.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm pretty much trying to be really on some, universal music, Interscope, even the Motown era, because Motown, even though it was more urban, they went into pop.
Yeah,
you got what I mean? So each artist that I named are totally different. I never try to sign the same artist because my Gemini mind is the thing that keeps me engaged in this is the marketing aspect of how I can break an artist I've never broke before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
so
if you look at my roster, nobody's the same.
Yeah.
So I can show people, and I really haven't got my pop star yet. The first person I signed was a 17-year-old white girl, Bridget Scott. You know what I mean? She was kind of like a Taylor Swift and an Ellie Goulding all in one.
Okay.
So really on some real pop. So I probably shouldn't have did that because I had always broken hip hop. But you know what I mean? But I wanted to come in and show people like this ain't just another urban label. You know what I mean? This is a label. So I'm going for a different type of respect now. Because and I got my ears from Timbaland, been in the studio with Timbaland and Black Round, who I watch break Genuine and Jodeci and Nelly Furtado and shit like that. You know what I mean? Missy. Yeah. So to me, I just want to make sure that the stamp of what South Coast is, from the brand deals to the movie deals to the partnerships, we got all that going on, right now, is we're a full-fledged label, a standalone, and do a deal where it's mostly distribution. We own our masters, the whole nine, but, from publishing companies to whatnot, and have partners, but be a standalone label with a very small percentage. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm okay with the partnership, but to me, the ownership piece of it is what I'm going for now, man. I'm not just going for, the same thing everybody else is going for. And, no disrespect to all the labels. A lot of people out here killing the game. But I just want to be a real full-fledged label. You know what I mean?
And not only a label, a trendsetter. Like you said, it's like you get stuck in that box and like, oh yeah, he's an urban label. Like, no, that's not how it is. Like, I think as a society, our people, we're trying to break those barriers.
Oh yeah.
Like, bro, we don't just rap, we do pop, we do this, or even like in Atlanta, I know when it comes to basketball, there's a program that's actually paying high school kids to play basketball.
Right.
Those are the things that's needed. I feel like everybody that came before us, from Martin Luther King to Malcolm to everybody, they did what they did so we can change the entire system. And I think that was one thing that kind of like, I remember sitting in a room with Russell Simmons. So like before we started working together, my first big studio, my first demo, and my wife, we still got it, that I did was with Lady of Rage.
Oh, wow.
And she actually used the Afro Puffs verse, which was on our demo on the Afro Puffs, because she was the receptionist at Chung King Studios.
Okay.
And I was in there. I remember the first time I was like 16, 17. I'm sitting in the lobby. Third base come walking out. I'm like, yo, I made it. I'm like, I'm in here with third base. Leaders of a New School was in there. I was cool with Charlie Brown and everything. And I'm like, yo, I made it. I'm the youngest dude in here. And then they wanted to sign me and Robin at Chung King. And they gave us this 80-page contract and was like, yo, you got to sign it and don't take it out of the studio. I'm like, bro, I'm not stupid.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine what was in that.
I'm not signing this. And I remember sitting with Russell one time. We was having a conversation. And I told him, I'm like, yo, I want a black label. And he was like, there ain't gonna be none. This is when Run DMC was on Profile.
Right.
He only had Rush Management. I'm like, how is it no black? And And they're looking at me like, bro, you 16 years old. I'm like, yeah, but I see something that, and if you look at it now, tell me what artists are out there that's popping that's not on a black label. Name
Wow.
one. Name
Wow.
one. I'm like, this was 30 years ago I was trying to do this. I
Mm.
remember sitting in the office with an attorney. I don't want to say no names, but he's a popular attorney. And he's giving me all of these contracts. He's like, yo, payday and everything. I'm like, I want to go with Sony Red because I knew Wendy Day. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Wendy, yeah.
And I wanted distribution. I was like, I want to
Mhm.
go with Sony Red. And he was like, no, I think you should go with Payday and everything. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, bro, I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb. So he hands me a contract and I grab a pen and I said, hey, I want to let you know before I sign this, if anything goes wrong with my money, everybody in this label need to wear hard hats because I'm coming up in this shit, turning tables over.
Real
He's like,
talk.
wait. He's like, wait. Like, let's talk about this. I'm like, what? You told me to sign it. Like, I want to give up the 15 to 20%. I want the $8 on the record. That's
Real
it.
talk. Real talk.
I bust my ass to get here. And I just kept bumping heads with industry people like that. Because I remember so my plan was signing artists, right? We do a project. We split after we recoup the money, we split the project. But the second album has to be on your label. Like we can joint venture, but you push this because I wanted to do Latin music, pop
That's
music.
dope. Real talk.
You know what I'm saying? And I just couldn't get it. Everybody's like, oh, you're gonna change the industry, the music rate. People are gonna be coming after you. I'm like, yo, I got guns. I'm from the South Bronx. I'm about this life.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Yeah,
It
whatever.
doesn't matter what's coming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it don't matter. I mean, you know what's crazy though? It just shows you that you were so like before your time, bro, because they giving those deals now.
I know.
You got what I mean?
Bro, I know.
But they wasn't gonna give it to us at that point because once you do one, everybody want that deal now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like you change like, yo, oh, he's giving that out over there. You owning it.
And come on, man.
And they're out of here. They're out of here. And I was, my wife tells me all the time, just like what she's like, you was just too far ahead of your time.
Yeah, real talk. No, you was so was I though. Yeah. I had to like dumb myself down, man, a lot.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and I'm damn near too loyal, because the plan was to start a label in one of the companies I worked at, but when you're making money for people a certain way, they want you to stay in that department.
Oh yeah.
You got what I mean? So, and everybody everybody got the best ears. Okay, whatever. You know what I mean? But to me, it's like, ain't nobody gonna give you nothing, bro.
Nothing.
You know what I mean? So to me, I'm like, man, listen, bro. I've been telling myself that my whole life. I got here by myself. You know what I mean? If somebody gave me some help, they didn't have to hold my hand. They let me in the door and I took the shit and ran with it. You know what I mean? Everybody's had help. But like for me, bro, it was like opportunity more than help. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Show me.
Do this. But you gotta now you gotta do this. You know what I mean? Now you gotta hold, these youngsters' hands. But like me, just let me in the door, bro, and I'm going to get mine.
That's it. But I'm the dude like a year in, like I shouldn't have showed him that shit.
Oh, no.
I should have showed him because now he's doing more than me and stuff like that.
That's what it became though. It became that with me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
damn, we let Arnold in.
But they knew what it was gonna be though. They knew what I was coming for, So, but when it happened, they tried to stop it, bro.
Oh, I know. I could imagine.
And it hurt me to my heart, man, that people I respected so much in the business. I won't get no names. Like, was really hating that bad. Like, bro, you don't want to see me be my family? I can't respect you as a man no more.
No more. You know
what I mean?
It's over. It's over.
These people that's been in the business made tons of money. So I don't know what catch up to you mean. Because you so far ahead of me anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like, damn. And that's I think that's what splits us up as a community is that crab in the bucket mentality where like, yo, if I put Arnold on, and I tell people, I'm like, yo, there's you don't have to lose for me to win. Like we both can win. We both can win. We both can make money. There's enough, if you look at an industry, I don't know the exact numbers, but the music industry is billions. Why are you mad? Because I made 10 million or 20 million.
Come on, bro. Come on. Come on, man. And really, you should want to pull me in because now you still control the market share.
They don't understand that, bro.
Share, to me, it's bigger than anything. Because guess what? I still came up under you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm more powerful as a person now. So really, if you're an OG, a triple OG, I'm keeping you in the game now. You got what I mean?
Facts. Yeah. They don't see it. They don't see it like that though.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and that's the way I was even like on the streets when I used to hustle. I'm like, damn, if I can't take over that area, I'd rather help you out. So you can make money and we both get, you could get the bigger line share, but now I could say, I'm in this industry, I'm in that, I'm doing that. And that's how, like, even with my uniform company, I had a factory in the Philippines and in China. When I got to 7 figures, I started just giving everybody wholesale deals. I'm like, hey, I'll give it to you for 30. You can sell it for 60. Yep. But my wife says all the time, she's like, that's the hustler in you. I'll just outsell you. I'm like, yo, I'd rather make $10 off of it than to make nothing. And I'm super competitive.
It's a volume game too, though.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a volume game too, though.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Nobody's getting paid. Nobody's getting rich on one thing no more. You're not. You gotta have multiple streams of income now, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know. So, but nah, man. We it's the sky's the limit for South Coast, man. You know. Hope I answered that question. We pretty much, you know, like I said, we got the movie deal already set up. You know, the movies on all artists. We can do films.
Yo, if you need a New York dude in there with Tim's, just call me. I'm near.
Oh shit, you still ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, bro.
Don't wait that boogie down.
I'm ready, bro. I'm ready. Like, yo, I got you, Arnold. I don't even need no script. I
already know. I already know, man.
So like with the movies and everything, what else you got in plans and you know with the label?
Well, I just started, you know, we got the Simply Go brand, which we're doing now, which is my clothing company. We got
okay.
It's kind of like how Diddy did Sean John, what to me is like I wanted to create a brand because each artist has a brand already. But I wanted to create a brand that's more executive. You know, we got the polo shirts. We got something more like OGs can wear a sweater with their sneakers, the way we dress.
Yeah.
We got our jeans and a sweater on, and we still gonna have some nice kicks, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's how executives dress now. You know?
Yeah,
so
different.
I'm kind of to the executive line, man. Still keep it young and fresh. Still got t-shirts because you know, goated was always an OG term. You know, the GOAT. But to me, young people are calling themselves the GOAT now. Call themselves GOATs now, but really, GOAT was really an OG term of somebody who's been killing it for years.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Greatest of all time.
Of all time, right. So I put Simply GOATed because I feel like OGs can relate to it, but now kids are starting to use it as well.
Yeah, smart.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So pretty much working on getting you know, the right distributors, putting it in stores, the whole nine. But right now I'm just pretty much just marketing right now with the brand just to make sure that I didn't want to put South Coast on it. I wanted it to be a subsidiary of South Coast.
Yeah.
Like what I'm doing is just trying to start like a Supreme to where, you know, it's a standalone. You can like Simply GOATed and not even like the music industry. You know what I mean?
Facts. Yeah.
You know, because I want you to be able to shop and not always tie everything into music because it might not be about music for you. You might just like the sweatsuit. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. You may not like music at all, but you're like, yo, the sweatsuit is dope. I want to buy the sweatsuit. And I think that's super smart because I think with clothing brands like Ralph Lauren and Polo and stuff like that, you can get somebody in the hood wearing polo and you could get somebody on a skateboard wearing polo.
No doubt.
Like there's no barriers. Like, you know, and when I used to go out to the Magic show in Vegas, I started noticing that. I'm like, yo, the brands that can be wore in the boardroom and could be wore in the club. And those are the brands that's going to evolve. And like you said, the Simply GOATed, young kids, because my youngest son, like, I'm the GOAT. I'm like, you're not even old enough to be the GOAT.
Exactly. And that's how you the term. I'm like, bro, you know what that term mean?
Like, GOAT is over this age.
That term don't mean you just scored 30 points in a game one time.
Exactly. You on the 5th state championship. Yeah, now you the GOAT.
Bro, you've been doing this shit for years.
Facts.
You get called a GOAT. But you know what? Hey, man, whatever. They take everything repeats itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I laugh with the youngins. I'm like, bro, you're not doing nothing, man. And there's certain things, like I look at them and they wear certain clothes. I'm like, I'm not wearing that.
Real talk.
I'm not wearing that. I'm not wearing that. It's not happening. I don't care, you know.
Yeah.
And my kid's like, Dad, you got. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm the same way. I'm not going to change. I'm not wearing those type of jeans.
If my jeans baggy, they baggy, all right?
Exactly. Yeah. No skinny jeans. The shit is not happening. I'm like, don't even try it, bro. It's not happening, man.
But know, yeah, crazy though.
What?
It's going back from clothes being too big for you to skinny jeans to now oversized sweatshirts and shit now.
Yep.
How crazy is that?
You remember, like, I think even when we was on the road and tour with you, we was wearing the long white tees down to the kneecaps.
Come on, with the baggy jeans.
Exactly, with the baggy jeans. I'm like, yo, look, you look at it now, you're like, damn, I wore that. And it's funny how you could see memes and you could tell the era. That was our era. You know, the dude got the long white tee on and the Timbs and stuff like that. And then I seen one the other day. It showed dude from the 90s, our era. Dude had like a fitted hat, long white tee. And then it showed a new dude. This dude had like spandex on, a man purse. I was just like, that shit was I was like, yo.
That man purse ain't gonna never work for me, bro.
At all. Yeah. My kids were like, yo, I'm like, nah, bro. I'll wear a backpack. I'll wear a backpack or a suitcase. I'm not wearing the man purse. It's not. And I was telling my son, I'm like, yo, if you got your ratchet in the man purse, what are you gonna do? Say, hold up, let me unzip my man purse and go get it. I'm like, yo, I got it on the waist. By the time you unzip it, exactly.
With the purse on. Nah, man, get out of here, bro. Get out of here with that.
It's not happening. Hey, and if anybody out there wears the man purse, it's nothing against you. We're older. This is what it is. It's just how it is.
To each his own, right?
To each his own.
Man. That's fashion.
Exactly. That's the fashion. That's the times and everything, man. You're like, I needed this conversation right now because like I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, what direction do I want to go? And sometimes we get up and like you said, we can, in most people's eyes, we look successful, but in our eyes, you're like, I'm just not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not there. And it doesn't really have anything to do with money. I think, they say the two most important days is the days you're born and the day you find out why you were born.
No, definitely. I appreciate that makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean?
Because I think it's just a purpose.
And I also think that as we get older, man, it's more about power too, though. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like
sure.
I feel like I'm going for power now because power helps me put everybody else in position. You got what I mean?
100%.
And as I fall back and say, hey, I don't want to do it no more. I want to take, some time off and work 2 or 3 days a week and go see the world. Your money got to make babies, bro. So at the end of the day, you got to be putting people on that's going to be giving you 10% of this and that. And it's just to make sure because, one, I'm not trying to work as hard as I did in my 20s.
Hell no.
You know what I mean? I can't do that shit. I can't duplicate this shit again.
Can't physically.
Yeah, hell no. I ain't in that good a shape, But I think that if you don't set people up, man, to be able to pay it forward, then you're gonna be working on your life. So that's what I'm doing now, man. I'm learning not to be a micromanager, not to be so.
It's just hard.
It is hard.
It's hard.
It is hard. But I think for me, man, it's really just making sure that you hire people that want the same things you want, and I'm training people. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can't be the manager right now. Just study the game at the company for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
exactly. We're gonna get you there.
Yeah,
because most people aren't gonna wait that long, though.
No, they're
gonna quit.
Yeah,
they're
not. They're gonna be like, yo, I got hired last week. I want, if I don't have it in 2 weeks, I'm out.
Come on, you driving the Benz? Why I'm not driving the Benz? You know what I mean?
Because I work 80 hours and you come in and you're out at 4:59. You got your coat on and you're out the door, and I'm there till midnight.
Exactly. Now, I've been doing it 30 years. You've been doing it, 30 months?
3 months. 3 months.
I was gonna say, 30 months would be good, right?
Yeah, exactly. At least we know. At least we know you did 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. I think it's the instant gratification that kills a lot of things.
It's really just the way that this industry, man, has been programmed. Quick microwave generation. I want it now. Everything's instant. But the longevity piece of it to me is what's going to keep you around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just 100%. A long-term game. I was asking my lawyer the other day, man, I end with this. My lawyer, I was like, man, why am I the only one playing the long-term game when it seems like everybody else, including the majors, are playing the short-term game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
You know, whatever's popping on TikTok or any type of digital platform, you know, whatever's on the internet from YouTube or whatever, they're just looking at it and they're just signing it based off of the numbers, but they're not really trying to develop and build artists, though.
Yeah,
Real
yeah.
artists.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, damn, should I be playing the short game a little bit more? You know, with this, but he told me, and I already kind of knew this. I just ask questions sometimes just so I can see what somebody's going to say, and so I can get an understanding of what you think about me asking you a question.
Facts.
and he pretty much said, that ain't your formula, man. Your formula is to develop artists. You've always done that. Like, I signed maybe 6 years ago.
Yeah.
You don't realize that. You know what I mean? You know,
people
tell me, oh man, last 2 years, man, you've been killing it.
But what about the other 4?
You guys didn't hear my ex-wife, you know, yelling and screaming at me about where all this money going and my kid wasn't in college yet and this and that, and they didn't see none of that.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
No.
And doors slammed in our face and people not believing the movement and because, you know, we're from a city that it's never been done before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to me, I think that that I just asked him that, man, because it's like, why am I playing a long-term game and everybody else playing a short-term game? How do I incorporate that to where I get these people to understand that longevity is in a long-term game? You know what I mean? The short-term money, we can make some quick money, but then what? We're not artists no good, because if you give me a hit single, Shamus, and it's a one-hit wonder, and I know you don't have nothing else. You didn't even write that record, or you never really had any success. You don't even want to be a rapper, really. You just got lucky. Am I doing you a favor? Because after that, are you going to go back and work for a Burger King or Chick-fil-A or whatever you're going to work for? Chick-fil-A might be a good job. Burger King,
facts.
Like I can't even send you back to the hood after that, because it's more dangerous. Really, though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
100%. They'll crucify you, bro. So I just feel like the way I love people as well, I don't want to set people up like that either on my watch.
Gotcha.
So it's bigger than just the music business. I don't even want to set you up like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's more dangerous to me than to put you up. It's going to be dropping people and adding people. And it just looked like I'm just on a money grab. And I don't really know the music industry. And I got too much respect for the game, bro.
Yeah. You're one of the very few, man. You know, I always tell you that you're one of the very few, man. I appreciate you, like everything, like even our conversations and everything. I'm like, yo, and I even said that, I'm like, Arnold is the same person from day one that he is today. And I respect that, because you don't really come across people like that get to a certain level. I mean, you get to a certain level, expect, I'm not answering the phone no more. I don't check DMs or nothing. I'm like, yo, every time I send you a message or call you or ask you, you know, to lean on you, you're always like, yo, I got you. So
no doubt.
I appreciate that,
bro.
No doubt. I appreciate that, man. So what I want to do is, like, you know, I know you're a busy man. Tell everybody, like, plug your brand, where they can find you, you know, projects you got coming out. I'm gonna give the floor to you so the audience, you know, can know where to find you at.
No, definitely. You know, it's South Coast Music Group. You know, I'm Arnold Taylor, of course, and what we're doing right now is killing the game. I mean, you saw Baby freestyle the other day on the league, because he's going crazy.
I watch it like 50 times.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta just be like, man, don't forget. Let them know you still who you say. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah. So we just gonna keep, you know, breaking barriers with him and taking Baby to the next level. Tusi's really the next superstar. Yeah. Just sold out his tour, 2,000 plus. He's just a kid to watch. He's just going crazy right now.
Yeah, I seen the growth from the beginning. I'm like, yo, this kid is talented.
No, I've never seen ladies go crazy over artists like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because Tusi's a rapper from Syracuse, New York. I met Tusi as the spitter. You know, he became more melodic, but Tusi can rap with the best of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Album coming out. You know, everybody's albums I'm working on right now. They all dropping April, May. Black Zach, the first artist from Columbia, South Carolina. He's my trapper. He's a Gucci man, the Jeezys, the Gotti. Dolph. He's the same. It's the same feel, with him. He's doing his thing. He's got off tour with Moneybagg Yo, and he's working on a new album as well. I have Big Molly, who's a young female, raw, just straight raw. Nobody ain't rapping like her. From Henderson, North Carolina, lives in Raleigh. All the artists from Carolina, pretty much. I have Tia Corinne, who just a whole different vibe.
Yeah, I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Female Playboy Cardi-ish, a little bit of Doja, a little bit of pop. She's Black, Latin, Native American, and Japanese. So she's just got a whole different swag. We call it anime trap. That's what we call music.
Nice.
And then I got the two newcomers, Dusty Stay True, first artist I signed outside of Carolina. His pop's from Carolina, though, so he get a pass.
Okay.
Puerto Rican and Black kid. He's from New Haven, Connecticut.
Okay.
And he's melodic. He's a lot of shit in one. He's dope as hell. And then Tino Season is kind of in that lane of the Uzi Verts of the world, in that real SoundCloud goes mainstream lane. Tino Season, 17-year-old from Gastonia outside of Charlotte.
Okay.
And then we have D Youngin, new kid I just met, 19. Just signed him, my latest signee. He's more like a Pooh Shiesty, little baby type feel.
Okay.
But just straight rap, just got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got it. And then I signed a kid before that was Ron Tate Don't Play out of Atlanta. And his name is Lil Shorty Scott right now.
Okay.
And he's more in that yachty lane. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So he's already going crazy right now, and you're gonna probably hear him soon. But like, man, there's 9 different artists right here, and they're
as you're
totally
saying it,
different.
I'm looking at a tour. I'm like, yo, this got MJ on it. Like, you got all the different talent.
You already know,
which is great, man.
It's gonna be fun to watch all the crowds coming together. Like I said, we have SMG movies. We just did a big deal with Netflix.
Nice.
We had big set of things going on as well with content. We're doing a new state-of-the-art studio downtown, office space.
Okay.
Merch brands for all my artists. Simply Go to brand for which is a subsidiary of SCMG, which is going to be a little bit more of a upscale brand that the OGs can wear and the young people can wear. And shoot, man, what I leave out? Real estate.
Yeah, your real estate. Arnold do it all. Real estate. That's what I'm talking about.
I had the label, but I think we just pretty much just trying to build the brands, man, and develop the artists, man, and bring you more superstars. That's where we at.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely. Like I said, I seen the growth. I remember the first couple of videos I seen of the baby. When I seen Suge, I was like, that's out of here. I'm like, that's out of here. I seen it. I was like, this dude, that's out of here, man. And like I said, like, I seen your growth, man. And it's one thing, and I don't tell this to a lot of people, but you deserve it. Like, you worked and you paid your dues and you put your time in for almost like 30 years. And I want everybody that's listening or watching to just Google my man Arnold and look at how many artists he broke. It's probably everybody on your Spotify playlist that this man right here has some type of input in getting them to that next level, man. And like I said, you always been a humble dude. I know you a God-fearing man. I see you go to church and everything and stuff like that. So I think as God kids, as God's children, bro, we have to just, uplift each other and just wish the best on people, and I love you, bro.
You already know, man. I love you too, bro. You looked out. You've been day one, man, and we're gonna always be connected, bro. We don't talk a lot no more. Yeah. Charge it to my head, not my heart now. Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
I hope your family is well, bro. I appreciate you having me, man. And whatever you want from me, it's a phone call away, bro.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Arnold. Everybody, make sure you check him out on IG. It's Arnold Taylor. This is the Educate to Elevate podcast. I appreciate everybody. And Arnold, once again, man, many blessings, much success, and I see you on that journey, bro.
You already know. Likewise.
All right, peace.